On today's episode, Elon Musk is letting Twitter decide his finances, Tesla are expanding their manufacturing wing into Canada, Boring Company released new details of their Miami loop, Jeff Bezos' lawsuit against SpaceX fails, and the Orbital tank farm at Starbase fuels up for launch. So, let's get going. On Saturday, November 6th, Elon Musk chose to let Twitter take the wheel and decide whether he should sell 10% of his Tesla stock just for the sake of paying taxes. Twitter said yes with 58% of the votes. Elon wrote that he would abide by the results no matter the outcome. We should also note at this point that Elon has since changed his Twitter name to Lord Edge and set his location as Trollheim. So that's how seriously any of this should be taken. As usual, when it comes to Elon Musk tweeting crazy things on the weekends, Tesla stock value tanked in pre-market trading, closing Friday at $1,221 and opening Monday at $1,148, although the stock price immediately bounced off of that low on the open market. Now, what's the deal with all of this? Well, there are a few layers to everything that's going on. But before we get anywhere, we first have to recognize how wealth like the kind possessed by Elon Musk actually works. Elon does not have $300 billion in a bank account. He doesn't even have $1 billion in a bank account. Elon's wealth comes from assets. Many of those are shares in Tesla, where he's the majority shareholder. And Elon Musk does not make a salary. He is compensated by Tesla with stock options that allow him to buy more shares in the company at a steeply discounted price. So when Elon's wealth grows, it's because he's either bought more assets that are worth more than what he paid for them, or the value of the assets he owns has increased organically. It's not because he got a raise at work. You might be asking, why does that even matter right now? Well, thing number one is this idea being floated in the United States of a tax on unrealized gains. That basically means that if the value of your asset portfolio goes up and you don't sell any of it, then you should still pay taxes on those gains, even though the value remains in your assets and not in your wallet. For example, if you owned a house for longer than the past 2 years, then the value of that house has undoubtedly gone up. In some cases, it may have increased by as much as 50% over the 2019 value. Should you have to pay a percentage of that increase annually on your taxes, even if you never sell the house? Or if you bought Bitcoin at $30,000 and now it's worth $60,000, should you pay taxes on that gain even if you don't sell? Most people would say no. It would kind of defeat the purpose of investing. If Elon sells his stock, then he will have to pay capital gains taxes on that amount, which is perfectly fair at that point because it now essentially becomes income. And 10% of his holdings would come out to around $25 billion, which would be taxed at a rate of around 20%. So $5 billion would go straight to the US government. It's likely that Elon wouldn't sell this all at once because if he did, it would cause a massive dip in Tesla's stock price and create some very serious havoc in the markets. Though that is the kind of thing an edgelord troll would do, so. Now, thing number two is Elon's CEO compensation package. Every time Tesla hits a specific milestone in terms of company valuation, Elon is given more stock options, and that means he pays much less per share than anyone else. But the options need to be exercised within certain timeframes, and they can expire. Elon needs to exercise his latest options package fairly soon, but that's where the downside comes in. Elon will have to pay taxes on the value of those options at the time he exercises them, and this is going to be taxed at a much higher rate than capital gains. The options package will be hit with a 54% tax, which experts estimate will cost over $10 billion, even as much as $15 billion. Well, even if you deduct all of the tax liability from Elon's $25 billion withdrawal and option purchase, he should still come out with something like $5 billion or more in cash burning a hole in his pocket. So what's he going to do with that? solve world hunger? Let us know your theories in the comments below. Now, we're pretty excited about this next one. Tesla is gearing up to build the machines that will be used to manufacture its 4680 battery cell with a new manufacturing expansion into Canada. We've recently found out from the mayor of Markham, Ontario, that a new Tesla manufacturing facility is under construction. Mayor Frank Scarpati announced that the new Tesla plant, quote, will produce state-of-the-art manufacturing equipment to be used at the gigafactories located around the world in the production of batteries, end quote. So it sounds like some of those big spinning machines that you see in the 4680 battery production videos will be made up here in Canada. Markham is part of the Greater Toronto Area. It's a suburb just north of downtown Toronto. That's the place that Drake is always singing about. These machines will be destined for battery production lines at Giga Berlin and Giga Austin next year. The Boring Company's proposal for the Las Olas Loop in Fort Lauderdale was recently made public, revealing some more details about the new tunneling project. The Boring Company submitted an unsolicited proposal for the loop on June 21st, 2021, paying a $25,000 fee to the city. Full details on the proposal were kept secret according to state law until recently, when confidentiality rules expired. The proposed tunnel system would bring passengers from Fort Lauderdale's Brightline Station to the beach in 3 minutes. Similar to the Las Vegas Convention Center loop, the Las Olas loop will use Teslas to transport passengers through the system. Tesla cars will be moving at an average speed of 50 miles per hour, as per the proposal. The loop is designed with further expansion in mind and can grow to connect key destinations and travel hubs within the city and beyond. Much like their tunnel expansion under the Las Vegas Strip, the Boring Company are offering to pay the upfront cost of the Las Olas Loop themselves and receive compensation over the long term. Fort Lauderdale's Vice Mayor Heather Moratis wrote in a letter to the state governor, "Building more bridges will congest our approximately 165 miles of intercoastal waterways, frustrate our marine industry and our commuters. While increasing rail options is a good thing, piling on top of current infrastructure doesn't make long-term sense. Tunneling is that cost-effective and cutting-edge solution," end quote. In the ongoing saga of Jeff Bezos versus Elon Musk, Jeff has taken yet another L, and the world rejoices. The lawsuit filed by Blue Origin against NASA for their choice to award a moonlander contract to SpaceX has failed in court. While we won't know the specific details of the ruling for a few weeks, the court has chosen to uphold NASA's decision to go with SpaceX as their sole provider for a human landing system vehicle that will take people to the surface of the moon and back. This court decision seems to finally end 7 months of increasingly baffling protests from Blue Origin and fellow competitor Dynetics. This means that work on the joint project between NASA and SpaceX for a Starship moonlander will resume as soon as possible. What we've learned from all of this actually just serves to bolster the reputation of SpaceX and make Blue Origin look pretty bad by comparison. We know that NASA found the SpaceX lander proposal to be the most technologically viable, the best managed, and the cheapest cost of the 3 applicants. On top of that, we also found out that Blue Origin took a used car salesman approach to the deal by asking a higher initial price than the vehicle was worth and expecting to be negotiated down. When NASA chose not to make a deal, Bezos offered to shave $2 billion off the price, which still put Blue's lander at a higher price than SpaceX and remained less technically viable than the Starship. Blue Origin has yet to even prototype the Blue Moon lander or New Glenn launch vehicle, while SpaceX are nearing completion of the first orbital Starship launch. Speaking of the orbital Starship launch, we have another good sign that is coming soon. SpaceX have begun filling the massive tanks at the Starbase orbital launch pad with rocket fuel. The orbital tank farm is a collection of 7 massive storage tanks that hold all of the cryogenic fluids necessary for a rocket launch into space. That means 2,400 tons of liquid methane, 5,400 tons of liquid oxygen, and 2,600 tons of liquid nitrogen. The methane and oxygen power the Raptor engine, while the liquid nitrogen keeps both of them cold enough to remain in a fluid state. SpaceX has been at work for weeks now delivering the cryogenic liquids to Starbase, beginning with nitrogen deliveries in mid-September, and now we are seeing deliveries of liquid oxygen stream into Starbase over the past couple of weeks, around 90 truckloads so far. Even so, that's only enough to fill 1 out of 3 oxygen tanks in the farm. The bottleneck here is the limitation on the gross weight of cryogenic tankers. The Department of Transportation says they cap out at just 37 tons, meaning around 20 tons cargo capacity. That's going to be an issue in the future for Starbase because at their current pace of around 4 delivery trucks per day, it would take about 4 months to fill every tank in the farm, and that's just to support 1 orbital launch. For more Tesla news delivered straight to your inbox, make sure to subscribe to our Tesla Space newsletter. We keep you up to date on all things Elon Musk, Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, and Boring Company in one quick and fun to read package. Link in the description to sign up. It's theteslaspace.com. And make sure to drag our emails over into your primary inbox so we don't get lost in the promotions tab. Also, don't forget to check out our new Space Race channel and subscribe over there for even more space exploration content. As always, if you want to continue to learn about everything regarding Tesla, SpaceX, and Elon Musk, we've got 2 more video options for you on the screen to check out. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up today if you liked it, and subscribe to our channel for weekly content just like this.